Marine's Tarheel Outdoors on WHIG TV. Brought to you by Greenville Marine Outdoor Shop. Fishing, hunting, archery. Your outdoor truck, the Silverado. Do it the better way at Don Bullock Chevrolet. LS Tractor, simply more. Sponsored in part by Public Tire Warehouse, Wilson. Good tires don't get stuck. Carolina Jewelry, Pawn and Gun, your local gun store for over 20 years. P.L. Woodard & Company in Wilson for landscapers, do-it-yourselfers, and hunters. And by ENC, Indoor Shooting Sports. This is Greenville Marine Tarheel Outdoors on WHIG TV.
Welcome to Tarheel Outdoors. I'm Gaston.
Kent King.
And I'm Elaine Wordsworth.
Today we're going to do a little pond fishing for you, see if we can catch some bass. We already have 2 crappie here. See what else we can catch today.
Alright, we got a nice crappie. Hit a little mini jig, chartreuse. Pretty fish. Beautiful crappie. Just perfect to fillet. So yeah, with these we like to practice catch and release to degrease. Today we are pond fishing. And there's a lot of difference really between pond fishing and river fishing. The most obvious difference would be that in a pond that the fish are landlocked, they really can't go anywhere, so you have to search out structures, deep water, depends on the time of the year it is.
What made you want to put hybrid stripers in here?
Something different, and I love the way they pull.
They are hard.
That's a good reason.
Oh yes.
That was a great answer. They're excellent table player too.
Oh yes, my 23-year-old and I, we go rock fishing, and they're just so much fun to pull. Well, they're fun to catch too. I got
fat.
They are.
Those shads.
They are.
Big old wide tails, and they know how to use them too.
Well, so we also irrigate out of this pond, and we will fill up from Swift Creek.
Right.
And doing that, we've pumped in a lot of the little baby brim.
Oh yeah.
So it feeds them good.
When y'all built the pond, did you actually stock?
We did.
Here?
We did. We stocked, and then with irrigating, we decided that it was not deep enough to irrigate out of like we needed to. So we drained the pond, got as many of the fish out as we could, and transferred them to another pond.
Right.
And
Did you kill it with rotenone then? Everything that was in here to start over?
I think they did. I was more into when we started digging it out, hauling dirt. It was a...
That's when you dug the deeper hole.
Mm-hmm. Well, we dug the whole pond out deeper. And it was 2 or 3 years before fish got big enough that we could start fishing again, so you kind of go through withdrawals.
I understand that. So Elaine, how long have you been fishing?
Probably about 20 years. Having small kids and doing things outside with them, we decided we'd try to take them fishing, and they loved it. And having a 2-year-old with a pole in their hand and catching that fish and doing their little happy fish dance. Being outside, I love it. I'm an outdoor girl. I enjoy being outside. Doesn't matter what the weather is, whether it's hot, cold. I just enjoy being outside.
Well, you know, we're actually seeing a lot more women in the outdoor places that we go. Down east, like Rose Bay and Swan's Quarter, places like that. There's a lot more ladies out fishing now.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot more women that are taking up outdoor sports, and I think a lot of it is to get closer to their spouses. A lot of it is stress release.
Didn't get that, did you, Robbie?
You can't get it if you don't catch it.
I've always been an outside person, and being out is just a wonderful thing.
It's beautiful though. Quiet, peaceful, away from everything.
It is.
I saw an osprey fly over there.
I was hoping my bald eagle would show up today.
It could have been an eagle. The sun was so bright I couldn't see for the white tail.
And I can be out here fishing and have a deer come out of the woods and drink to the pond, come to the pond to drink.
They do that at our pond every now and then. If you're in the right place at the right time, you'll see it.
Hearing the turkeys. It's my thinking time.
There you go. That's one reason why I go too. Quiet, peaceful, think, relax.
Cell phones don't work out here.
Good.
So it's just my downtime, I guess.
Spend a lot of time out here?
I do. I do a lot of working on the farm. I operate most of the machinery out here.
You got one too? Got one?
Yep. I think mine's little though.
You got a craft. Nice craft.
Well, I had one.
What lane?
Well, you've never been fishing if one doesn't spit the hook out.
Exactly. I should have gotten it. That's a nice bass.
Pretty nice largemouth bass. We're throwing a crankbait here, just throwing it along the edge. We're out on an island. These fish have been on the bank so far this morning. Get this one back in the water. You like that bank, don't you?
I love the bank. Come on now. Oh, I got a stick fish.
There's no limit.
I got it. And I bet you that's one that's been sticking up in the pond. The largest catch today.
Would you like to hold your prize?
A non-edible stick fish. Well, if it would float just right, the turtles would love it to sun themselves in.
Would you like me to throw this on the bank?
Yes, please. Now, what is stage 3 fishing?
Well, stage 1 is when you're young and everything you catch you want to put in the boat and you go home and you tell everybody, I caught this, I'm such a great fisherman. So then as you get a little bit older, you decide, you know, I'm progressing to stage 2 fishing, which you're not quite as apt to keep them. You don't have to get up at daybreak every time. And as far as putting fish in the box or bragging about it, you don't have to do quite as much of that. Stage 3 fishing is when you really don't care. You stop at Hardee's and you get you a big breakfast and you take your time, you get out here. When you get out here, you don't care if they bite or not. You fish with odd stuff. You might even use a rainbow trout lure to try to catch a bass. Try new things, have a good time, enjoy the wildlife, and don't really care if you catch any fish or not.
Well, I don't think I've hit stage 3 yet.
I hope I never get completely to stage 3. I am going to catch a hybrid rockfish. I hope.
All right, fish, come on now. Let's wake up.
Northeast wind now, it's gonna be tough to catch them today. I don't care where you are, whether you're on a pond, or the river, a lake, Lake Gaston, Rose Bay, trout fishing, it don't matter. Northeast wind is tough.
Northeast wind plus about 8 inches of rain last week.
Yep, that's what we had at the house, 8 inches. Well, basically what happens when you get a lot of rain, especially we had the drought, the water was way down. It makes it rise really fast. Basically, it's just the freshwater aspect of it. The fish just don't respond to fresh water quite as good as they do water that's been sitting and not necessarily stagnant, but the fresh water just somehow or another affects the way they feed. They don't feed as well.
Does the temperature change to it too?
Yeah, actually, and this northeast wind, I think that's the one thing northeast wind does to it. Northeast wind changes the temperature. Look at that. Look at that.
What'd you do to get hung? How'd you throw it that far?
Should be a bass over there. Like if you got a swimming pool in the summertime and the water is 85 degrees and a cold front moves through, that water in that swimming pool will drop like 5 degrees overnight. And it does the same thing in a body of water like this too. The surface temperature, it won't drop the lower temperature, but it'll drop the surface temperature. Gas has had a line, bro.
I had another bite.
I got some. I had just had another bite.
That's so never late. See, I put a white one on yours and I got a green. And the reason we're doing that, sometimes they want to bite the green with the chartreuse. Sometimes the white shows up. Gaston and I have had phenomenal luck this whole year, actually for the last 2 years, on white baits. So we'll let you try the white one. If you start catching more than I do, and I got plenty of white ones I can switch over. We'll see how it goes.
Got something. Don't you jump off this time. There you
He
go.
ain't coming off.
Okay, my second fish of the day. A crappie. I caught him on a crankbait.
A nice catch.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. That didn't take long on the crankbait.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Nice crap. Man, he nailed. That got to have been a bass. Look at that, hit it again. They're right down here under the boat. What is going on? I mean, he nailed it. How deep is the water? 3-1. That was a trip. That whatever it was followed it to the surface and he just kept nailing. Look at that, hit it again. That, I don't even know what that is.
That's a rockfish, probably. God, that's a huge bass right there. Oh my gosh.
All right, bring it over here. Come on. We'll do 2 at one time.
Please don't. Oh God, we got a mess now.
That's what they brought me for.
Miss Sandra, you got some fish now.
Woo!
And what do you do with those?
Keep them and eat them.
Really?
Wow.
We keep some.
I'll do a high five on that.
That was nice.
I told you it was 5 or 6
Good
pounds
God,
now.
that's 6-pound fish.
Ken has pulled in his first big one.
I ain't gonna lie. He get that little mini jig. I mean, told us, say, yee on the drag. Holy cow.
There's some blood on everybody.
Wow. That was worth it right there.
That is good eating.
We have gotten lucky enough to come across 2 hybrid stripers here in the pond. It's not very often you do that.
These are pretty fish. These are a cross between a striped bass and a white bass. And they don't reproduce, so they have to be stocked in here. But these 2 fine fish, this one here's probably around 2.5, and you weighed that one at what?
5.5.
5.5 pounds. So, hey. We're starting to get into the very best time of day to fish. We study all kind of solar calendars and stuff. Right now what's happening is the moon is new. Well, it will be new tomorrow. So that's a great time to fish because it's a dark night, and for whatever reason the fish tend to respond to that more than they do on a moonlit night. That is even during the daytime. So right now it's getting to be the hour of 11 o'clock. The best time to fish is between 11 and 1 according to our charts. So what's happening is the moon is directly overhead. The second best time of day to fish would be when the moon is directly under our feet. And it all has to do with gravitational pull. Fish tend to respond to actually less gravity directly overhead or underfoot more than they do if it's off at an angle. So we're getting ready to get into a very good time of day to fish. And it's actually warming up a little bit too. It's been kind of chilly this morning. So we're expecting the fish probably to move into the shallows and start feeding pretty heavy here in the next hour or two. We'll see how that goes.
Another nice rockfish, I believe. One drag.
Need net?
We've caught another striper here. A lot of times this time of year these fish will school up, so there'll be a lot in a pod. So we're gonna get right out behind it and see if we can grab us another one. What we've got here is a rattling rogue, and I've just been casting it up to the bank, and when you reel, you see this plastic lip, it dives down in the water. Well, I've been reeling it, and what I do is I just stop it, and this suspends. So it stops and just kind of floats up just a little bit. And generally when that bait stops, the fish hits it. But the faster you reel, the deeper it goes.
Catch another one of them pirates. Daggone that, something. Talking about a fight. That's a fight with a fish.
Another fine catch for the day.
Full and a half, I tell you.
Another stick fish. I'm telling you, everything in this pond will bite that liver. And I guess it's because it's what we fished with so long.
All right, we're gonna troll to the head of the pond and get out of this wind. See, that's one thing about the daggone weatherman. I really enjoy Greg fishing, but daggone it, the ones down east, it's amazing. They tell you the wind today is gonna blow 5 to 10 miles an hour, and you can just add it together to get 15 miles an hour. It's just like that when you get on the water. Always add them together, and that's what you're gonna get. What's that out there, a fountain? There you go. I bet there's crappies around that thing. Only problem is, it's anchored down probably with ropes and concrete blocks. You catch those ropes if you fish close around it. It's showing up as a round concrete slab going all the way to the bottom of the pond. It's going off the screen now, but I got all kind of structure and fish looking shapes. The way they're showing up, big enough for the beach. Crappie are running smaller now. We need to get back in those big slabs. They're pretty fish to me. Iridescent, you can see purple, you can see greens, all different colors if you turn them in the light like that. I've enjoyed catching crappie my whole life. See the different colors if you turn the fish different ways. See different colors. If you got some land and you want to do a pond, probably the best way to get started is to contact the Wildlife Resources Commission, state of North Carolina. They have fisheries biologists, they have all kind of publications, books and stuff that'll get you started. I remember one thing when I first built my pond, the one thing that stood out in my mind was along the banks, have it at least 2.5 feet deep along the banks. No real shallow places that's 6 inches deep. 2.5 feet will control about 67% of the aquatic weeds that can infest your pond and clog it up and take oxygen from it, from the fish. So that's just a real important thing to remember. And you need to have some deep places in it too if you can, because you have weather extremes in summer and winter, and the fish need protection of the depths of the water. They don't need 4 feet all the way across. They need some deep holes where they can survive a cold winter or get down and get a little cooler water in the summertime. So there's some real important things. There's a pond management guide that the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission puts out, and that is just an excellent publication. It tells you everything you need to know. They can also help you stock it, recommended, there he is, recommending places that you can to go to get fish. I remember in Wilson, the fish truck would come from Potts, I believe it was Pottstown, Oklahoma, and they would bring little small bass and crappies and brim. I do know that for these fish right here, you need a pond that's at least 1 acre. Crappies will overpopulate very quickly. 1 acre pond, they won't populate quite as fast, but they need 1 acre of water basically to survive and thrive. So that's one thing about this particular fish right here. It needs to be at least an acre pond. And another thing too, I read in there that in that book there's you can put spawning mats in the pond, and basically all they are is like pallets, maybe made of cypress or something so they won't decompose. And then you need to get minnows, the hardhead minnows, flathead minnows, whatever they are. I can't remember the name of them, but it's in that book. It was a good. The fish are gonna have to have something to eat. They'll eat bugs and stuff that fall in the water, but if you stock it with bass and put some of those minnows in there, then they can really survive. You put the spawning mats in there, and the spawning mats give the minnows shelter and a place where they can actually reproduce, and so they keep their population going. And if you can keep the minnows balanced along with the bass, you'll have a healthy pond for a long, long time.
Good fighting fish.
The hybrid?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Holy cow.
Wait a minute. Bring him on
We
over
might
here.
need a net, probably.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, come on.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's all right.
I'll get the net next time.
No,
He just did have that
I
hook
was
in his
more worried
mouth.
about your finger than I was losing the fish. That could have been
That
bad.
was about a 4 pound. I think Robbie got it there.
Yeah, that was another hybrid. We lost that one.
Have you fished with Slim Jim?
Slim Jim, like
Slim Jim, yeah. Catfish will get those too. Mm-hmm. It's something about the oil in them.
When you cut up a Slim Jim and you want to eat chunks, throw that down the bottom.
Well, you put it on your hook and just let them go.
I can see where, I mean, I love a Slim Jim. I can see where that.
there he is.
Oh boy, that's a nice.
All right, I'm gonna get the net this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I'll get it. You go out there and get one. I want you to catch one of these fish.
I'm trying.
We found a pretty good pattern with these hybrids. We're casting to the bank here with this rogue. It's caught up in the net, but that rogue, and I'm just jerking it back, and they're hitting it pretty daggone good today.
All right,
You got it.
got one.
You got it.
I had him. No, I
He's
still got
up
him.
there.
I believe you got one in high.
Grab that net, Kent.
No, don't let Tampa Bay get it. He'll get me back.
I want to see what it is.
I got a catfish.
You caught what you wanted to catch.
Dang on, you said you wanted catfish. That's a pretty catfish. He's just right to eat too.
And they are good eating catfish. They are good eating catfish. I told you my catfish will jump on anything.
I do believe. You want it?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's like
Look at that's a channel cat.
white meat chicken.
He's got spots on his back. Oh man, that is a good catfish. You're talking about some pretty fillets.
Got that hard to clean though.
No, they're not. Have you ever used a single edge razor blade? You take a single edge razor blade and make 3 incisions. What you do is you start right here and go down this, come down this, and come across here. Turn him over and do the same thing. And start up here and take a pair of good pliers, twist the skin up in it, just rip it right off. And then all you do is just fillet the little nuggets right off.
Thanks for joining us again today on Tarheel Outdoors. We had a great day fishing on the pond.
Yeah, we caught right many largemouth bass, and we were able to get into some of those hybrid stripers. Some of them were pretty good size. We caught one about 5.5 pounds. It was a real good fight.
From Gaston.
And Kent.
And Elaine, keep your lines tight.
This is Greenville Marine's Tarheel Outdoors on WHIG TV. Brought to you by Greenville Marine Outdoor Shop. Fishing, hunting, archery. Your outdoor truck, the Silverado. Do it the better way at Don Bullock Chevrolet. LS Tractor, simply more. Sponsored in part by Public Tire Warehouse, Wilson. Good tires don't get stuck. Carolina Jewelry, Pawn and Gun, your local gun store for over 20 years. P.L. Woodard & Company in Wilson for landscapers, do-it-yourselfers, and hunters. And by ENC, Indoor Shooting Sports.